Hello everyone, Cheer here with picoCTF Walkthroughs by WeAreRoot. And today we're doing Vault-Door 8. Now this is the last one in the Vault-Door series, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's read the lore here. Apparently, Dr. Evil's minions knew that our agency was making copies of their source code because they intentionally sabotaged the source code in order to make it harder for our agents to analyze and crack into. The result is quite a mess, but I trust that my best special agent will find a way to solve it. The source code for this vault is right here. They give us a link to it, and they give us some hints, something like clean up the source code so that you can read and understand what's going on, and draw a diagram to illustrate which bits are being switched in the Scramble method, and then follow. Okay, so we don't really need, so I got a little bit of a method to figure this out here. Let's go ahead and first off, the first hint is a really good hint. Clean up the source code so that we can read it, because right now we can't really read it. And once I show it to you, you'll see why. So let's go ahead and open up this little vault door and add them real quick. As you can tell, this is a mess and we can barely read this. Now, it's not that hard to understand if you know Java, but we're not about that figuring stuff out live. So let's go ahead and copy this here. And we're going to go right back to Vivaldi, and we're going to go ahead and make a Java Beautifier. Now, there's a lot of these Java Beautifiers online, and the Beautifier just kind of makes the code easier to read. So what they did would probably make a de-Beautifier, but we're going to use an actual Beautifier. So let's go ahead here. JavaScript Beautifier is close enough. Java is similar to JavaScript, so we should be able to paste our code here and beautify the code. Perfect. Now, this is something we could deal with. So let's go ahead and paste this here. So as you can tell here, right, we have got a lot to analyze here, right? So first of all, it does some import Java util, Java X stuff. I don't really know what this is. So here's our class. Class vault-door-8. And we got the public static void main string arg. So let's see. First it scans our input, then asks for the password, and then it says C, which is our input, next, which is just saying save our input to C, and then it says get rid of everything after like 8. And it's basically saying the picoCTF bracket, because we're supposed to put in the picoCTF and it's supposed to check it to make sure it works. So it's going to say access granted or access denied if it's good or bad. So, and that's all the subscreen is doing. As you can tell, vault-door-8A is a new vault-door-8, which is that for some reason, but okay. So then it says A is check password if it's good, granted, if it's not, denied. So we have the Scramble method here. What this apparently does is that scramble password by transposing pairs of bits. So we have char a equals password to char a, and then for everything, for every integer in a, whatever the length of a is, go through each item, store char c, which is our array at spot b, and then we're going to say for each time switch the bits. So it's going to be like switch bits C1, 2, a lot of this stuff, right? And then store it, and then return the output. All right, that sounds interesting. So what does switch bits do? Well, as you can tell, it goes right down to here. Public char switch bits, char C into P1, P2. And this is the position. This is saying move the bit in position P1 to position P2, and move the bit that was in position P2 to position P1. Precondition P1 is less than P2. As you can tell, they all are. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. These are bitwise operators. I'm not going to get into that. This is a simple video tutorial. We're just kind of describing what Java is here, so I can kind of help translate it here. So you have public boolean check password, string password, char scramble equals scramble the password, and it's expecting this. Yeah, and then saying return the value of array is equal to scramble. If saying if our input scrambled equals this. So the easiest way of doing it is just reversing the whole process. So let's go back to our scramble operation here, and let's see what happens if we just reverse it, right? So I'm going to have double space here, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and reverse what it's doing, and so we should have a mirror here. If we took a mirror here, it would be the same. So you have 6, 7, 5, we have 7, 5, 4, 1, 7, 5, 4, 1, 7, 6, 3, 2, 7, 6, 3, 2. And I'm going to go ahead and delete all this up here. Uh-oh, we don't want a derpy face. So there we go. Now it's completely reversed. We have some extra stuff here, but that's just kind of to throw us off. We're just going to get rid of it. Oh, that's not get rid of that line. Thank you. Perfect. So And then at the very end here, we're going to go ahead and print out whatever the value is, because this will print out the reverse of whatever we wanted. So this is going to be system out print line. This is just going to print what A is before it returns it to the program. So now we got to figure out what this is so that we can convert the chars to text and then give the text to the program so it can actually reverse it. So let's go ahead and copy this hex here. Go back to our Vivaldi here, and we're going to go ahead and do a hex to text converter. And this should be able to get us something we need. Perfect. So we have hex to Ascii, which is the same thing, hex to text string converter. So you have that down there. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and put in our input in here, and we're going to convert it to Ascii. Now this looks like absolute garbage, but it doesn't need to be something that we can read. So let's go ahead and copy that here, and we're going to go ahead and open up this program in a program that can actually compile it. So I've go ahead and gone with JGrasp for this here because it's a nice simple program and it works. So it allows us to compile our code here, and it allows us to run it right here as well. So it enters the vault password. So we're going to need to put in picoCTF because that's part of the password. We're going to paste whatever that thing gave us. It's a mess, but it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to close that bracket. And once we press enter, it's going to reverse that and obviously print it. And it's going to say access denied, but that doesn't matter because here we have our code right here. So if we go back to Vivaldi here, we can give our thing here, right? So we're going to put it in the flag format here, picoCTF, put in a little code here, and some more bit shifting, and then it gives us the hash, right? We can go ahead and check that if we wanted to by just reversing literally everything we just did. Going back to JGrasp, compiling it again, running it. It's going to ask us to check our password, and look at that, access granted. We're good to go. So let's go ahead and go back to Vivaldi here and submit our flag. And there we go. That is how you solve vault-door-8. Thank you all for watching.